Okay, Vikings preseason football. It's upon us. Tomorrow they play the Raiders. Um, I know preseason sucks, but it's still good to have actual Vikings games back. Of course, the big story uh, going in is what happened a few days ago. Kirk came down with COVID. Um, from what I've heard, it's not hitting him too hard, so he'll be back, next week or whatever. And he maybe wasn't going to play in this game anyway. I'm not sure how many starters will play. Maybe not many, maybe none. Um, but you know, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, I'm not going to get into a whole thing about COVID and vaccinations and all this. I mean, you know, like you can get it even when you're vaccinated. It's just everyone knows this stuff. I don't want to get into it. Um, but anyway, so Kirk will not be playing, so it's going to be Sean Mannion and Kellen Mond. I would think basically are going to each get a half. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. Um, I think they've already announced that Mannion will actually start, so he probably get the first half then. Um, so yeah, I mean it's probably going to be mostly the backup show. Um, but I'm interested in seeing the back. Like I'm personally very interested in seeing you know you know not so much Mannion, but Kellen Mond year two. The reports have not been good for him. Um, and there was even a report out a few days ago that you know, even within the team, they're not really you know committed necessarily to either of these guys as QB2. Um, Now that could change. Maybe one of these guys, will go out there and really show out in the preseason and change their minds. I mean, personally, I would much rather see Kellen Mond get out there and stake a claim to the job. But we'll see. So I mean, beyond that, like it's hard to say when you don't know what the starters are going to be. Like, I don't know that we're going to learn anything about the offensive line. The center position, what the plans are there. Um, you know, Defensive secondary, what they're planning there. I mean, it's hard to know because you just don't know who's even going to be out there. But you know, I just think the big thing is just going to see how the quarterbacks play. Um, and I like the reports have been bad. I went out to training camp last week, one of the days, and I kind of thought Manny and Amon both looked fine. Like, they were. I mean, it's practice. Talking about practice, but I mean, they look like competent quarterbacks. I mean, I don't. I mean, obviously, if Kirk goes down this year, we're probably screwed, no matter who the guy is. But you know, I don't know what other quarterback you're gonna get right now. Like, you're not gonna really trade anything significant for a quarterback right now. Um, I know we're not gonna fucking sign Kyle Sloter. I'm so sick of here. I'm really tired of Vikings fans' obsession with that guy. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much the only talk. I mean, it's a preseason opener. It's the first game of any kind in the KOC era. So I'm certainly interested in seeing it. I mean, it'll be the same thing as preseason every year. You're kind of excited for it, and then by the end of the first quarter, you're like, "Oh right, preseason games suck." Um, I hope that you know I think especially last year, man, Zimmer just ran preseason as just a complete joke. Like he didn't even attempt to have plays run for anybody, which means you don't learn anything. And maybe you're not going to learn anything conclusively tomorrow either. But I'd like to at least see, you know, you know whether it's Mannion or Mond, like to actually have some plays to see what they can do. and I think KOC will do that. Um, and we'll see. you know, it's just good to have it back. Um, but yeah, as far as position battles, it's hard to really say what to look for because I don't know who's going to be playing. Like, there's obviously going to be guys who are going to be fighting for roster spots in these games. We're going to see some of these draft picks we had this year, these late round draft picks. I'd like to see this Ty Chandler, man. I was really excited when they drafted him. I was like, oh, he's got a shot to be something really, a really good weapon on offense. Maybe we'll get to see him a little bit. Maybe Greg Joseph will hit some kicks. They're very confident about Greg Joseph this year, and I don't blame him because you know what? Yeah, he missed the one against Arizona last year, but then he bounced back and hits some big ones. He's not gonna hit everything, but just having a solid kicker will be welcome. So, all right, I don't really have a lot to say about this one. I might even do a follow up, like a recap video after the game, just to when there's actually something to talk about that actually happened. So, hey, football's back. Let's have some fun.